Hey everybody, welcome back. Another episode of Coffee with the Commish. We finally had a losing day yesterday. Went 1-2, not the results we were hoping for. Real quick, I'm going to go through a quick autopsy of all three plays yesterday. This is something that I personally do every day just to see, did we have good reads? Did we have bad reads? If you're not interested in going through yesterday's plays really quick, I did timestamp in the description. You can skip ahead to get today's plays if that's all you're here for. No problems at all. But real quick, I'll just share my screen. We can jump in. First play that we'll take a look at, we had Buddy Hield over 16.5 points yesterday. We can go to the box score. We can see real quick. He had 14 shot attempts, 9 shots from beyond the arc, a little bit inefficient with his shot. The big thing with Buddy Hield yesterday, he had 16 points through 3 quarters. Never played in the fourth quarter. It's not his normal rotation. It is what it is. We live with it. We move on. The volume was there. Game sort of got away from the Pacers a little bit in the fourth quarter, turned into a little bit of a blowout. I would make this play 100 times out of 100. Didn't cash yesterday. Doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad read. I have no issues with that. We can look at, let's go to the 2 assist plays that we had. Number 1, we had Fred VanVleet. We had over 6.5 assists. We talked yesterday about outcome stats not necessarily being truly indicative of the volume that a player had. Per se, Fred VanVleet, he led all players on the slate yesterday with 20 potential assists, only ended up with 7 actual assists. You can look at this, you can say, okay, great read. He had the volume, opportunity was there. His teammates made it sweatier than it needed to be. He realistically should have had 9, 10, maybe 11 or more assists yesterday. And if you watch that game, there was a lot of opportunities that his teammates just didn't make shots. So we were fortunate to cash on this one. It didn't need to be as sweaty as it needed to be. But again, just because you have a play that cashed, it doesn't mean it was a good read. In this case, I feel good about it. Would make that play again. The other guy that we had yesterday, we had CJ McCollum. We had him over 5.5 assists. Only played 23 minutes. He still had 4 assists on 9 potential assists. If that game doesn't turn into a 32-point blowout, McCollum probably plays closer to 35, 36 minutes, and he probably has closer to 6 assists on 12 potential assists. So again, not a play that I think we had a bad read on. You can't necessarily predict a 32-point blowout, especially when the spread on a game pregame is 1 or 2 points and it's a relative pick 'em. So no real issues with there. It did suck that Brandon Ingram got ruled out after we had posted the play. McCollum is more of a facilitator with Ingram on the floor. But again, these were the 3 plays yesterday. Confident in the reads. You're going to have days where you go 1-2. We might even have an 0-3 day at some point. As long as the reads are good, you'll win more than you will lose. So I think that's just an important thing to do every single day. I just wanted to highlight that for everybody. And then you can decide for yourself. Did we get unlucky or did we have a bad read? Did we miss something? But we are back today. Yesterday's results don't matter for our bank accounts anymore. We have 3 more plays. Starting out today, we're going to go Harrison Barnes over 15.5 points. Nobody's going to be on this play today. I can tell you that right now. Harrison Barnes had 3 shot attempts yesterday, only 7 points. It's going to scare a lot of people away. It's uncomfortable when you see someone with this low of a shot volume, and then the next day you need them to get upwards of 15 points. But Barnes, he's been great with De'Aaron Fox off of the floor this year. You can see I'm using court IQ here. When Fox is off the court this year, Harrison Barnes is averaging over 19 points per 36 minutes. This is a game against the Houston Rockets that should be pretty competitive today. I think he bounces back. The Houston Rockets, the last 30 days, they're 21st in opponent 3-point percentage. They're 23rd in opponent free throw attempts allowed per game. They're 28th overall in defensive efficiency. I think this is a great spot for Harrison Barnes. The other thing that I was looking at here, this is our Discord that I run with Jonesy Prop and with Liam Picks Fights. Looking at the beat writers, Mike Brown yesterday. You can click on this article if you're in the Discord. Mike Brown, he called out the team after the game. He said he questioned if everybody was all in. This is not something that should determine your entire read on a play, but when the coach calls out the team for a lack of effort or a lack of perceived commitment to going out there and playing at a high level, usually a team will respond well. So I think this is a nice buy low opportunity on Harrison Barnes today. Not my favorite player to bet on, but when you get him at 15.5 with Fox out of the lineup, you just have to pull the trigger and live with the result, in my opinion. Second play we're going to target, DeMar DeRozan over 25.5 points. Let me pull over Edge House real quick. We can take a look at this. This is another research tool that I find very helpful. This is his 16 home games since November 18th. You can see he's cleared this number in 10 out of 16 games. That's a 62.5% hit rate. You can validate this with props.cash. as well. You can go and look at DeMar DeRozan. He's cleared this in 11 out of 24 home games, so he's pretty competitive. And you can see a lot of green at this market number in home games the last couple of months. It's a great matchup against the Spurs. The Spurs, the last 30 days, they're 30th in defensive efficiency. They're 30th in opponent field goal percentage, 30th in opponent three-point percentage, and 14th in opponent free throw attempts allowed per game. DeRozan also, for whatever reason, just seems to take these matchups personally against the Spurs. You can see in these last 6 games against San Antonio, he's scored 28, 26, 28, only had 21 right there. He had 32, 40, and 33. So it's a good spot for DeRozan. I think he bounces back. I think the volume should be there tonight, and he certainly should not face much resistance against a San Antonio defense that has been largely ineffectual against everyone this season. So DeMar DeRozan over 25.5 points. You can get that at -120 over at MGM right now. That's the second play. Third play we're looking at today, Jordan Poole over 4.5 assists at FanDuel. Jordan Poole he's an interesting player. He's a little out of control out there on the floor, but when you look at the numbers with Steph Curry off of the floor, this play makes sense. So we can go back to Court IQ. We'll go to Golden State here. We'll take Curry off of the floor, run the query, and we'll see what pops up here in a second. You can see that when Curry is off of the floor this season, Poole's averaging over 5 assists per 36 minutes of action. Cool. We like that. That's above the market number. Let's go to props.cash. We can go to assist, Golden State, look at Jordan Poole, and we could take Steph Curry off of the floor. You can see a lot of green here in home games. Take him overall. This is still dating back to last year, 20 out of his last 32, really 20 out of the last 31. He's gone over this market number this season. He's hit it at a very high rate with Curry out of the lineup. Again, you can't just take the surface level numbers and think, oh, this is a great play. So let's go take a look at the potential assist. We know that Steph Curry was out of the lineup from December 15th to January 9th. So let's turn on our filters here, December 15th to January 9th, get these stats, and then we got to go to Golden State, get the stats here. And Jordan Poole was averaging 4.1 assists on 8.8 potential assists in 11 games with Curry out of the lineup during that stretch. If we just look at home games here, let's see if there's any noticeable difference. You see his assists go up slightly, his potential assists go up slightly as well. So I think this is a great spot to grab Jordan Poole. I wouldn't be overly shocked if we get hooked at 4 here, but I think this is a great spot for him to get 5 or more, especially against an Oklahoma City team that has been about league average in terms of allowing assists to their opponents. So it's a great spot for Poole. Again, 3 plays today. We're going Harrison Barnes over 15.5 points. Get that at FanDuel. DeMar DeRozan over 25.5 points. Get that at MGM. And then Jordan Poole over 4.5 assists. Get that at FanDuel. Hopefully we can make it 6 out of 7 profitable days, 14 out of 17 over the longer stretch. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, if you could just like, subscribe, share the content if you find it valuable. And as always, just let me know if there's other things in the comments that you guys are targeting. There's a ton of stuff to bet on every day. I can't cap it all. You can't cap it all. Let's learn from each other, and hopefully we can walk away with more money than we had this morning at the end of today's slate. See you guys. Best of luck on all your action.